How to see the glass half full, 4 ways towards happiness. Welcome to Achieving Success Through Failure. If you look at the world today, we have everything. We have all the technology, all the advancements. We have people closer together through social media, all the entertainment that we need. We have the fanciest cars. We have the best food all over. But why are there a lot of people who are unhappy? Why is it such a big thing or a difficult thing to achieve? When I look back to my time in Manila when I was young, that's in the Philippines, I actually saw happiness and joy in poor children's faces. That was one thing that was very interesting. They would most of the time sell sampaguita, which is a type of flower that they turned into a necklace. Occasionally, they would be barefoot, and while they were doing this in the middle of the scorching heat, they still had a smile on their faces. But what was the secret? Why were these children happy despite of everything that they were going through? And I think that's where the key to happiness lies. And we're going to go through the 4 steps that we can consider to better understand that how we can use what I learned from a young child, how to be happy. If you think about it, the first thing that you have to consider is gratitude. Such a simple term. But a lot of the people around the world are unhappy because of a mismatch on expectations, what they deserve or what they want, rather than an appreciation of what they have. What do you mean? Well, people look at the next fancy car, the private jet, all the riches, the nice watches. But did you ever think and close your eyes and take a deep breath? There's fresh air. You're able to breathe. You've got 2 hands that actually work. These are all things that we should all be thankful for. Once you appreciate all of these basic things and not take anything for granted, you'll start to realize a different perspective. A perspective in which sometimes things that you overlook or sometimes things that surmount you or basically overshadow you shouldn't, because there's a lot of blessings that come in everyday life. The second aspect of it is facing problems. I believe everyone can relate to that. But the question is, how? How do I become happy despite having a problem? Well, I can guarantee you that we will always have a problem. And if you can't figure out how to be happy while having problems, you're never going to be happy, because you're always going to be looking for that state where there is no problems. But that's not what life is. This is a constant struggle. So if you learn how to be happy, then that would actually change a lot of things. But how? Well, 2 things you have to understand. Whenever you're faced with a problem, the first thing is to actually take it as it is. Do not overcomplicate the situation. What do I mean? Well, if you have a problem, stop looking at the past, wishing that you had changed something to have prevented it. That's something that you will take in the future. But in the present, it is what it is. It's easier said than done, of course. But there are only 2 things that you have to consider. One are the factors that you can control, and the other one are the factors you can't control. What's the difference? On the things that you can control or take action, you have to take the responsibility of actually addressing whatever it is that you need to do to actually make it better. There are no shortcuts. That is the shortcut. If that's the only thing that would actually make it better or make it manageable, then you have to do it. Ignoring the problem's never going to work. What's the other one? Well, if you have things that you can control, there are things that you can't. Well, what's the good side on that one? What you have to realize is acceptance, because these are things beyond your control. It is going to happen. And then what you do is on a day-to-day basis of what you can control, and then you re-accept what is beyond your control and then continue this progression. Sometimes you're overlooking too much in the future, in which if it's not affecting you right now, you have to take those small steps. And if it's beyond your control, what are you going to do about it? And worrying doesn't help. By taking that perspective, it actually allows you to focus on the problem, address whatever solution that you're going to make, and then continue living. Because if you keep on worrying on a problem, it actually starts overtaking your life. You're actually living the problem, which compounds it. Its negative effects becomes worse than what it already is. The third one is actually something very simple. Then you start realizing that sometimes your actions can actually bring joy to other people. What do I mean? Whatever blessing you have, and it doesn't have to be money all the time. It could be your time, a listening ear. You're able to bring joy to other people. You're able to bring compassion and peace. And through the joy that you're able to bring to other people, their joy will actually radiate towards you. That's how you actually receive happiness, through the good works that you do. The fourth one, and I think this is the most difficult one to explain, is to find meaning in your life. You'll find meaning in your life by becoming the best version of yourself. Who do you want to be? Be that person. Through small actions taken, they are compounded. You start developing peace once you start understanding the meaning of your life. And when you have peace, there's joy, because the happiness is no longer dependent on the circumstance. Share this secret. Please click the like and subscribe button. And if you have any comments, type them in the chat, and I'll see you guys next week.